Okay, so let's talk about in this video about how to rebuild confidence in maths when it completely feels like it's gone. Okay, so this is confidence in maths. It doesn't disappear overnight. It just gradually chips away slowly. So maybe it's one bad test, maybe it's a confusing topic. You don't go from feeling 100% confident to nothing overnight. It gradually starts to chip away. But the good news is how it chipped away, you can flip that. And that's how you can gain it back. But before we dive into the problems, make sure you click subscribe on the video if you've not done so already. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the key content that I post. And just click a like on the video. And if you could, anything you find useful, drop me a comment in the comment section. It helps me understand what you guys need. I want to see the discussions and all that kind of stuff. And it does help push this content out to more parents and more students to see this. So here are here are 5 key problems that I've seen. The first one is you're getting too many things wrong. So when everything feels like it's wrong, you just end up stop trying. And it's natural, it's explainable, but that's not what we want, is it? Next, we're getting the basics wrong. So say you've opened a test paper and there's 25 questions and you've got the first 5 questions wrong, your confidence is going to take a hit. Or if you're getting like 5 questions in a row wrong, your confidence is going to take a hit, isn't it? So it's understandable. Even grade 4 questions feel hard. So aiming any higher feels like it's impossible. If you're aiming for a grade 4 and the grade 2 questions are hard, or if you're aiming for a grade 7 and the grade 5 questions are hard, it's going to feel impossible. Your target grade might feel miles away. You don't like maths, not because you hate numbers, because maths makes you feel stupid. So here are 5 things we can do to try and overcome this. Now, as I'm going through this, I want you to think of it this way. I don't want you to be thinking that's not going to apply to me. I want you to stop and instead say, I don't think it would work for me, but if it were to work for me, how could I apply it? Because I promise you, one of these things will actually work for you. Okay, so first one is shrink the difficulty until you can win. So, for example, if you're struggling in life in general, one of the things that a lot of psychologists say is start with making your bed first thing in the morning because making your bed is very easy because that's the first easy win during the day. So you can do the same thing here. So instead of practicing all the really hard topics, what we could do is go to something like Maths Genie, which is a brilliant website. Okay, so yeah, you can see the link there. And go on to GCSE revision. So if you're targeting a grade 4 and everything's feeling super, super hard, go back a bit. Go to the grade 2 stuff. No shame in that. Because you might go back to even the grade 1 stuff, you might go back to addition and subtraction. You're going through this and you're like, oh, these ones are easy. And then you get 15 right in a row. Then you're like, ah, now I feel a bit more confident. So you try something else and the same thing. And then you keep going until you're feeling very confident. Then you're like, ah, okay, I'm feeling confident with these now. Doesn't matter the grade, but I'm feeling more confident. Then you up your game to grade 2, etc. And do the same if you're on higher. So if you're aiming for, let's say, a grade, I don't know, grade 6, don't start on 5, 6 questions. Start on something like a grade 3 because that's still on the higher tier, isn't it? So that could be something that you could do. Next is rebuild the basics, but very purposely. So being bad at maths just means that you've got holes in your foundational knowledge. So if you're bad at times tables, you're still allowed to write them down. So practice writing them out. Maybe you're bad at fractions and you can't access algebraic fractions. Well, practice fractions. If you know that every time you come across negative numbers in a question, you're like, oh, I was hoping these won't come up. It's because you've been avoiding learning them properly. And you avoid them because they make you feel stupid. You avoid them because you don't feel like you're very good at them. And you probably avoid them because it's taking too much time for it to actually sink in properly. So let's do that. Let's practice negative numbers for 10 minutes a day until it gets natural. Okay, next one is measure confidence in marks and not feelings. So don't ask yourself, am I feeling confident? Let's look at the data. Let's look at what it tells us. So on a Monday, go and take a past paper. You can find the past papers, Maths Genie. I know I keep banging on about this website, but go to any of these past papers here. So take a past paper. Maybe it's a recent mock. So sit a paper. Get your marks out of 80 or whatever the marks are out of. Then the next Monday, take another one. And if you've gone from, let's say, 10 marks out of 80 to 12 marks out of 80, that's progress. You've improved by 2 marks. So the next week, you say, I'm going to try and get 15 marks. Next week, I'm going to try and get 17 marks. And then you measure your progress like that. Okay. Next is reset your target grade. So we talked about this a little bit in the previous videos, which you can go and find that on YouTube. But that is, if your target grade, it should stretch you. It should make it feel like it's an aspiration and it should motivate you. But if it feels crushing to you, then maybe we've overstretched. And maybe now isn't the time to do this. So instead of you saying to yourself, I want to get a grade 7 is very vague. What does that mean? Well, a grade 7 is this amount of marks. And maybe you're sat on a grade 4. So you're trying to improve by 3 grades. So then you look at the difference and you say, right, I need 100, however many marks. Let's say I need 100 marks. Divide that up into how many weeks we've got left. So, don't know when you're watching this video. Let's say it's 10 weeks left. Well, that's 10 marks per week. Okay. Well, if I revise 5 days a week, 10 marks a week becomes 2 marks per session. So 2 marks per session is way more manageable than trying to get an extra 100 marks. They both mean the same thing, but one of them causes loads of stress. The other one is very strategic. So we could do that. So by resetting that and saying, I'm taking a test paper on Monday, I'm taking another one the following Monday, I want to improve by 10 marks per week. That's going to be the thing that gets me the 10 marks. So that's what we could do. And the next thing is change your relationship with maths. So right now, maths equals stress, failure, maybe you're embarrassed, maybe it makes you feel stupid. We need to try and replace that with control, with structure, with small wins. So short sessions, set yourself a very clear task, visible progress, like we've said, 2 marks progress per session, and then hopefully that dislike will fade. And also, sorry, I've got action 6. I think I said 5 there, didn't I? And don't compare yourself to fast learners. People learn fast, people learn at different speeds. If you're a slow learner, well, that's just the way it goes, isn't it? There's nothing we can do about it at the moment. Maybe there is in time. Maybe we just get more. It's how do we explain it? It's just like saying if I'm going from a grade 6 to a grade 7, that is easier than going from a grade 1 to a grade 2. So the further up the ladder you get, the quicker your learning appears. So a child going from a grade 1 to a grade 2 is harder than a child going from an 8 to a grade 9. So you might be in the trenches at the moment. Don't compare yourself to these people because you might be able to get there, but you've got to endure this bit first. Okay, if anyone needs any extra help, you are more than welcome to book yourself in a free revision class, which you can book in from this link here. So you can book that in on my website here, really easy to book. Or if you prefer, you can book yourself in for an entire free week, and this on my school platform, so you can access all of the live lessons free for 1 week. And yeah, when you book, you've got access to all of these live lessons, the calendar here. You can just click on a lesson, like this, for example, click on it, and it takes you straight into the session. If you want to know a bit more about it, so you can just click the link, which is, where's the link? Yeah, just click this link, that'll be in the description, and it takes you to this page. This 8-minute video just shows you around the platform, walks you through how things are done, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, I shall see you guys in the next one. So don't forget to like and subscribe and just comment with what kind of things you found useful. And I shall see you guys next time.